welcome back to Drawing Hub. So this is Python Programming Module 1 Part 8. So in this video we'll be discussing some basic problems from this Module 1. Now the first question, let x equal to 8 and y equal to 2. Write the values of the following expression. So we do not have to do any further complicated calculations. We just have to assign the value 8 to x and 2 to y and then write the calculations. So x plus y into 3 is what we have to do first, and immediately when we do the program we will get the answer. So y into 3, so according to the BODMAS rule it is done. So first y into 3, that is 2 into 3 is 6, and 6 plus 8, that will be 14. Now again we don't have to do x equal to 8 and y equal to 2 every time, but just for confirmation I have done this. Again the bracket is considered here first, and then we get the answer 30. And here exponentiation is done. So for exponentiation we use 2 asterisk sign. So x star star y, that is 64, and modulo to get a reminder, so that is 0, and division we get 12.0. So this is in the form of floating point. That's why the answer is also in the form of floating point. Then this is float division to get the quotient. Now this is the exponentiation, x exponent y exponent y. Then here first the inside bracket whatever is done, that is calculated first. So that is one problem. That one was simple. Now coming to another program. Find the area of a circle, square and a triangle. We have to find the area of a circle, square and triangle. So this, for that we are asking the user to input the value. So I have a variable called radius, another variable called length, another variable called height, and then base. So in radius I am asking the user to enter the radius of the circle. So in order to use input the number, I have used the input function, and I have to convert the input function, whatever is there we get it in string format, so that I have to convert it into float, and here we are using the type conversion function, which I have already discussed in the previous video. So float is used here because I want to convert the string to a float. So float input enter the radius of the circle. So this is for the circle. Now I want to get the length of the square. Now for that I have written length. Again I want this also in float. So float input enter the length of the square. Now I want this base and height of the triangle. So height and base is there. And now I want to calculate the area of the circle. So area circle is equal to 3.14. You can either import the pi module or you can give it directly. So 3.14 into radius power 2. So I have been using here. So this is power 2, a square it is written. So I can do this, or I can say radius into radius. That is also fine. But this one is more comfortable. Now I have got the formula for circle of radius, circle area. Then for the squares area I have to get the length square. So for that length power 2, or you can write length into length. That's up to you. Now for area of triangle, half into base into height, the formula. So half into height into base. And then I am simply printing the areas. Area of circle, area of square, area of triangle. I have printed comma. So these are two expressions. Okay. Now I am separated with a comma. So I will get this much as a string and this as an integer. So here the user have entered the radius of the circle as 3, the length of the square as 4, and the height of the triangle as 2, and the base of the triangle as 5. And then later it is calculated over here. Now input time in seconds and print time in hours, minutes and seconds. So time in seconds, I have asked the user to input the time in seconds. So enter the time in second, and I am converting it from string to integer. Print the time in seconds. So whatever it is in seconds, I'm just in order to understand if I have got the value or not. If the value is input or not, I am asking it to print it. Now hours, there is a formula for this. Hours equal to, I wanted an int only. So time in seconds, whatever time you have got, that divided by 3600. And to get minutes, I have to get the modulus of this time in seconds, modulus 36,000, then floor division 16. So there you will get the minutes. And in order to get seconds, you just have to do time in seconds modulus 60, and then you have to print it. So enter the time in seconds. I have entered 10925. So this is the time in seconds, and that is 3 hours 2 minutes and 5 seconds. So here only the formula matters, rest all are simple. Now in order to convert the temperature in Celsius to Fahrenheit, so this one is also simply based on the formula used. So Celsius, I'm having a variable called Celsius, and it is converted from string into a floating point after the temperature in Celsius is entered. And we have another variable called Fahrenheit, which is converted to float from Celsius into 9 by 5 plus 32. That is a formula, and then I am simply printing the Fahrenheit. Now to find the root of a quadratic equation, here we have to import the math module and the C math module. Again we are having three variables A, B, C, and we are asking these three variables to enter it is used to store the coefficient of A, B and C. This also depends on the formula, because we are having a discriminant where b power 2 minus 4 into A into C. So in root 1 we have the formula minus b plus C mat dot square root discriminant by 2 into A. That goes similarly for root 2, but here this is plus and here it is minus. We want both plus and minus. Now I am simply printing the quadratic equation. So in order to print it, I have a form. I am putting this A over here into x power 2. So that is how this double quotation mark is how to print. And when it comes in the curly bracket, so whatever value we are getting in A, that is printed over here. So the coefficient is printed as such over here. And then finally we get the 0, and then we print the root 1 and root 2. So here I have entered coefficient of 2 and the coefficient of A as 2, B as 3 and C as 5. So the quadratic equation is 2x square plus 3x plus 5 equal to 0. And from this we find the root. Okay, next one. So here we have to find the sum of digits of a number. Now x is equal to, I have a variable x and I am asking the user to enter a number, and then sum I have initialized it as 0, and when x is greater than 0 I have to do this. I have this loop. In this loop will work. This loop will work if x is greater than 0. Okay. So sum equal to sum plus x mod 10, x equal to x floor division 10. So this is a formula for finding the sum of digits of a number, and then we just have to display it. So enter the number 23. And so what is the sum of digits? It is 5. Now again, in order to reverse a number, it's somewhat similar but different. So again, I'm asking the user to enter a number, and I'm having a variable reverse. I'm storing in reverse. I'm initializing it with 0, and when x is greater than 0, reverse into 10 plus x mod 10. Reverse into 10 plus x mod 10, and x equal to x floor division 10. So there I'll get the reverse. So I have entered a number 253 over here, and the reverse number is 352. Now write a program to input a positive number n and find the number of cubes of all positive numbers less than or equal to n. So here n is input. They enter a number. We have asked the user to enter a number, and this number is stored in n. Sum is equal to 0. We have initialized, and from 1 till n plus 1 it goes, and sum equal to sum plus I power 3. So the cube is here. So cube of positive number less than or equal to n. So I have entered 2 as a number. So sum of all the cube positive number. So that is 2 power 3 is 8. Okay, 8 plus 1's cube is 1 only. So 1 plus 8 is 9. That is why your answer is 9. So all positive number n and 5. So it is applicable only for positive numbers. Now print the first 10 Fibonacci numbers. We know the Fibonacci series. It is 0, 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, like that. Now I am using a function over here called print fib. Okay, in that I am initializing a with 0. So we can multiply at the same time we can initialize multiple variables. So a equal to 0 and b equal to 1, I have initialized it in a single sentence. And print the first 10 Fibonacci series are, and I'm using the loop. For I in range, I want the loop to go 10 times. I need to print a followed by a comma b equal to b comma a plus b. Okay, so a comma b equal to b a plus b, and here you can see then I have printed. I have got 0 first, then 1, then 2, 3, 5, it goes on. So because that is the Fibonacci series. Now program to count the number of even and odd numbers in a given set of numbers. Now n is equal to n. So I have to count the even and odd numbers. A given set is given and I have to find. So first I have asked the user how many number of elements are there, and I have set the even count and the odd count as 0. Now for I in range I am using the loop num equal to n. I'm using the loop because I have to get the number of times. So here n is the number of elements in the set. So that much time the loop have to run. Then if num mod 2 is equal to 0, this is simple to find the even number. Then even count equal to even plus 1. Else the other option is that it is odd. Then it is odd. And then we have to print. So here I have entered 4 elements are there in the set. So 4 times enter a number will come. And from this how many number of even numbers are there and how many number of odd numbers are there are found out. Now program to print all the prime numbers less than 1000. So I am having this range for num in range 2 to 1000. So from 2 to 1000 it have to last. And for I in range 2 to num. Then there is another loop inside the first for loop. And inside the second for loop there is a if statement. That is if num mod I is equal to 0. That is if it is not a prime then you have to print. Otherwise you have to print it until it ends. So 253 it goes on till it reaches 1000. Next one is a program to calculate the distance between the 2 points. So for that I want to get the x coordinate of point A, the y coordinate of point A, the x coordinate of point B and the y coordinate of point B. So after getting that I simply substitute the formula to find the distance. So distance is equal to c minus a power 2 plus d minus b power 2 power 1 by 2 or 0.5, and then I just calculate the distance. I print it out. That is how to print the distance. Next I have an assignment question now. Write a program in Python to convert decimal into binary using recursion. So here I have to use recursion in order to convert decimal to binary. Now I am having a function. This function, what is recursive function? A function calling itself is called as a recursive function. So I am using the function decimal to binary, and then the parenthesis parameter is num. So if num is greater than 1, then I have to again go through this function decimal to binary num floor division 2, and then later print num mod to end. So number, enter any decimal number and then it will go in. So this is called 2 times over here. So I have entered a decimal number 10 and the binary form of 10 is 1010. Now that is one question. Write a Python program to generate and print dictionary. So this is about dictionary, which we'll learn later. We have a given series. Given a positive integer n, write a program to find the sum of given series of n terms 1 by 1 into 2 plus 1 by 2 into 3, and that goes on till 1 by n into n plus 1. Then that we have to use the function. So I am having a function series num in the parameter n, and the total I have it declared it, initialized it as 0, and I'm using the for loop, that is 1 till n plus 1 because I want to include the n also. Now total equal to total plus 1 into 1 into I plus 1. I'm using the for loop and return the total. Then I am asking it to input enter a positive integer and the result equal to series num. Then I am just simply printing the result. So that is simple. Now I have another Python program to print the sum of cubes of here. Print the sum of cubes of odd number and even numbers up to n using function. So here I need to use two functions. So def sum of cubes odd n and sum of cubes even. So in odd one, return the sum I power 3 for I in range 1 comma n plus 1 if I mod 2 not equal to 0. That is odd. For even I mod 2 equal to 0, and then I have asked it to enter a number, and then this sum of cubes odd n is stored in sum odd cube, and sum of cubes even n is stored in sum even cube. Now print the sum of cubes of odd numbers and then even numbers also. Next we have to implement the Python function to print Armstrong number between 100 to 200. So what is Armstrong number? If we are having a number, for example 153, then we have to take each digit. That is 1 is taken and we have to find the cube of 1, then 5 is taken, the cube of 5. So 153 is the number over here. So each of them we are taking the cube. So 1 cube is 1, 5 cube is 125. So 1 plus 125 plus 3 cube, that is 27. Now the sum of that will be equal to 153. That is the sum of the digits of this. Each digit's cube should be equal to the number itself. So 153 we got. So then that is an Armstrong number. Otherwise it is not an Armstrong number. So as for the fact, from 100 to 200 there is only one Armstrong number, that is 153. So here I am having again two definitions, two functions. So def is Armstrong, then number. So digit equal to that number, I am converting it into string, and sum of cubes equal to sum in digits. So whatever the number I have, then I am converting it into integer power cube for digit in digits. Then I have asked it to see if sum of cubes and numbers is equal. Then I am having another function where print Armstrong start end. So I have given the range. For number and range start n plus 1. And then I have given the limit. So here only one Armstrong number is there between 100 and 200. Then write the Python program to print a simple pyramid of star. So this asterisk sign pyramid is very important. With different patterns can be used. Here I have again made a function of rows, and I have asked the user over here to enter the number of rows. And I'm using the for loop. So 1 comma how much number they have entered plus 1. So because we want to include that also. So rows plus 1, and I'm asking to print, give a space, then rows minus I end, because we want to continue in the same line, and print star I. Now rows equal to int input, enter the number of rows. Here I have entered 5 rows and I have got a pyramid over here. Now this is an electricity type question. You take electricity units as input and calculate the bill based on the following rates. Up to 100 units, that is 1 rupee per unit. Up to 100 unit, 1 rupee per unit. From 101 to 200 unit, 1.5 rupees per unit. From 200 to 300 unit, 2 rupees per unit. And above 300 unit, it is 3 rupees per unit. So that is a condition which is given to us. So here I am having a function where I have to calculate the electricity bill in units. So if units is lesser than or equal to 1, then I have to give 1 rupee. So return units into 1, and elif, we are using the elif statement. Units lesser than or equal to 200 is coming, then return 100 into 1, that is the previous one, plus units minus 100 into 1.5. Now elif unit lesser than or equal to 300, return 100 into 1 plus 100 into 1.5 plus units minus 200 into 2, because 2 rupees is there. Else, now that is about 300 if it is, then return 100 into 1 plus 100 into 1.5 plus 100 into 2 plus units minus 300 into 3. Now units is equal to input, enter the number of electricity unit. Then bill will calculate the electricity bill in units. So that is this function, and then it will print it. So here I have entered the number of electricity unit as 203. So the electricity bill for it is 256.0 rupees. So that's it about the problems, and in the next video I will be making a revision about module 1. Bye.